Hi, I'm Marsh from StrataGames, and today we're playing some Grixis Affinity. Grixis Affinity is a deck that's been around for a very long time. People generally see it as just a worse version of Jund at this point, but that's not to say it's not still incredibly powerful. This list is ripped straight from Luffy, who is the Grixis Affinity pilot, so I always just defer to whatever they're playing. And this is the most recent list I found. Nothing should be too surprising here. We're playing 4 Mirror Enforcers, 4 Refurbs, 4 Thoughtcasts. For our other win cons, we have 3 Black Mage's Rod. Then we're playing 4 Wellsprings and a 1 of Cryogen Relic, basically 5 Wellsprings. Cryogen Relic's a little harder to cast, which can be relevant in this deck, which is why we go for the Wellsprings over it. 4 Reckoner's Bargain and a Fanatical Offering to sack those artifacts and draw more cards. 1 of Makeshift Munitions. For removal, we have 4 Galvanic Blasts, 3 Clan Shamans, and 2 Toxin Analysis. We also have a 1 of Hunter's Blowgun as another way to give Death Touch to our Shamans. 3 Nihil Spellbombs to deal with the Graveyard meta. 2 Blood Fountains to recur our threats. And then 19 lands, all artifact lands except for a 1 of Swamp. In our sideboard, 6 Hydroblast / Blue Elemental Blast effects. 1 of Unexpected Fangs, Breath Weapon, another Clan Shaman, and Gorilla Shaman, and then 5 Pyroblast effects as well. So let's take this into a league and see how we do. You can now pick up my comprehensive guide to Esper Cryo Affinity, including 38 sideboard matchups, and I just put out a big update for my Black Sack guide, including a slightly different deck list. I began offering coaching sessions if you're interested in taking your Pauper game to the next level, and I'm accepting deck donations, so if you desperately want me to play a deck that I usually wouldn't play, something like Elves, then you can make me do that for a small fee. I've started posting a league video every single day, not to mention streaming at least a couple times a week on Twitch, but I'm not going to be able to keep that up forever unless I can get a little bit more help from the community. Any of the ways I've just mentioned are great ways to help me out, or you can even subscribe and support me on a monthly basis. We're going to mulligan this 1 lander and keep this one. I think I can probably get away with putting back a land, because we could do a turn 2 Blood Fountain Thoughtcast if I really want. Plus we don't have red mana anyway, so we're already looking for another land. And we're on the draw, which means you can keep anything. Start with the Mistvault Bridge. Another Thoughtcast isn't bad. Looks like we're against Coggates. And they just pass, so they have Counterspell mana up. I guess I want to play the least innocuous card. Maybe just a Wellspring here. If they counter it, it's not a big deal. But I don't really think I want to cast nothing. If they hold up Counterspell mana again, maybe it's tougher, but now maybe they have a Spell Pierce, but I'm gonna try for the Blood Fountain Thoughtcast. Alright, and that just works. Nice. Hopefully we hit a land. No land. We get to try again with the Thoughtcast, which is something, I suppose. They hit for 1, Brainstorm, and they pass. Another Toxin, so they probably have a Counterspell now, but I kind of got to go for it. Let's cast a Thoughtcast and hope for the best. They do Counterspell. I'll crack this Blood, discarding a Toxin. We find the Swamp, so that can play, I guess, just another Blood Fountain. I don't need the Spellbomb yet, although it could be nice to have for if the cat dies, but I think I'd rather play the Blood Fountain in case I get a Mirror Enforcer here, and then we have the Affinity count. Pumping the cat right away. They only have 3 cards in hand, so not the worst spot to be in. Refurb's a good draw. Let's see. I could Refurb, hold up Toxin to block the cat, and then Spellbomb the cat away as well. I think I'll start with a Cryogen Relic, though. I wouldn't be drawing a card off of the Spellbomb, and I probably would like to. They Counterspell again, so we'll cast a Refurb. Discard a Thraben, and they cast a Lorien Revealed. Okay. Still only 3 cards in hand, but they did gain a little bit of value there, and they attack with the cat. I'll trade here. I can get this guy back. Now I don't have to waste my Toxin. I can also Spellbomb away the cat. Play a Spellbomb. I'm going to pay 1 for this so that I can crack the Spellbomb and draw a card, as opposed to playing the Enforcer or the Wellspring first, which would give us free. Well, it would have given us a free Enforcer, and then I could play another Enforcer here, which I can't now. But I'd also be wasting a card, so probably still better to have done it this way. Another Lorien. Play a Gate and pass. We'll swing for 4. Play a Wellspring. We finally hit the land. I mean, we're doing okay. They have a Squadron Hawk and a Guardian of the Guild Pact. Guardian's a pain. Obviously, we have Mirror Enforcers to block it. And another one. Okay. Well, I'm going to cast this and start attacking with these 2 for 8. Oh, never mind. They have the 4th Counterspell. Indeed, they do. Well, we're going to Offering while they're tapped out. Thoughtcast. And I think we go for a block and a Toxin Analysis if they pump it, which I assume they will, to kill the Guardian. So I'll attack with the other Enforcer. I guess if they just have like a Journey to Nowhere to get rid of this first Enforcer, maybe this is bad. Seems like it could be. There's the Journey. Pump the Guardian. Pump the Guardian. So we're taking 12. I'll take out the Squadron Hawk. But I guess if they have another removal spell for this Mirror Enforcer, it's not going to work. I guess I could buy back the Enforcer from the grave with the Refurb, but then I don't play the Refurb and it's obvious I'm holding something up. Still probably for the best. Brainstorm, pump the Guardian, pump it again. So I just hope they don't have a Dispel. Or Spell Pierce. Alright, Death Touch. It's from a colorless source, so that actually works. Kill the Guardian. Maybe we can survive here. They have a cat. Alright, cat is fine. Ooh, triple refurb feels pretty good. They did Brainstorm, so I assume they put away a couple Squadron Hawks, but they didn't actually do the trick to pull them out or shuffle yet. Discard 2 Prismatic Strands and a Hawk. Swing with the Enforcer. We're going to have to chump with the refurb, but we at least get value from the refurbs coming back. Spell Bomb. I could Spell Bomb away the Strands now, or rather on their turn. Then we're not going to be able to get rid of the cat, but it's probably still worth it just to draw the hard. Another Brainstorm. Pump the cat. Pump it again. They gain some life. Blow up the Spell Bomb. Reckoner's Bargain. Buy back the graveyard creatures, play an Enforcer. If I play the refurb, then I'm not going to be able to hold up the Reckoner's Bargain, and I think I would like to. We're going to hit for 6 here, hope they don't have double removal spell. For our blockers, if we can chain a couple draw spells and /sack spells blocking the cat until we can find a Galvanic Blast, then maybe we can prevent them from gaining any more life. They have 1 Hawk left in hand. Gonna block with the refurb. It's less life, but it's more damage that we get to deal to them. They have the Dispel this time. A little annoying, that's okay. Get a Wellspring, crack a Clue. Alright, play a refurb, so we're gonna have to chump and let them gain life again, but we'll hit for 8. Play a land, pass. Modern Age coming down. Discards another one, Basilisk Gate up the Hawk and the cat. Still no Galvanic. We've seen 1, but just 1. No Krarks either. So I could take one of these, go to 1. We haven't seen a Black Mage's round either. We haven't seen a lot of some of our cards. Yeah, I think we're just going to block here. Go to 1 life. Blood Token away a land. There's the Blast and the Krark. So I think we hit for a bunch here. Play a Krark, Blowgun, equip the Blowgun, because it's not going to have Death Touch on their turn. Possible I should have just Galvanic Blasted the Hawk when they didn't have Counterspell mana, but they've already used Counterspell. All 4 Counterspells. And they did have a blue mana up, which could be a Dispel. We already saw 1. Journey to Nowhere on the Krark. So we're going to deal 1 damage in response to kill the cat. Another Krark. But then the Hawk can get in, theoretically. But we will blast it down. They're at 7 life. They can buy back the cat, but I can Krark it away. We should be able to attack for lethal, I think. Yeah, Modern Age isn't going to do it unless they get a... Now, even a Prismatic... They did get a Prismatic Strands. That's crazy. But even that's not going to do it because these are colorless, and I can take out the cat. Oh, wait. But I can't take out the cat because the Prismatic Strands will prevent the red damage? No, because I can respond to the Prismatic Strands. And if they tapped the cat now to prevent it so that it couldn't happen this turn at all, then I can just hit for 8. So, all right, kind of a close one for a while there. We get a bunch of pyro effects. The Krark was decent at the end, but it really would have been fine as any sort of removal. I guess, we already had the Galvanics. We don't really need Toxin. Well, actually, Toxin was incredible against the Guardian. Makeshift seems okay. I think we can cut the Krarks and the Blowgun, because this doesn't give Death Touch to blockers. All of their creatures are white, except for the Vector Gliders, so this almost feels like too many Pyroblast effects. Let's just cut one of those. I mean, it's still good to fight over counterspells. Feels like a lot. Gonna mulligan 1 lander again. I mean, I guess turn 1 Blood Fountain, turn 2, hopefully hit a land. Nah, this doesn't seem good enough. Alright, this one's better. This is the same hand except functional. Start with a bridge. Oh, and we could just get dusted, but we didn't really have a sideboard plan for that anyway, so no need to fret about it. Let's see if we get annulled. Brainstorm, sure. Basilisk Gate, and there's a Modern Age, so they had the ability, they had the mana to dust, didn't cast it, so that means they don't have it in hand, and ideally, they won't have it at all. I'm going to keep playing not red lands, just because we don't need to expose them in case they do get blown up. If I Fanatical Offering here, I'd lose out on a card because I'd have to discard, so let's just wait. Modern Age pitches another Modern Age. They also discarded a Gate, so they must be a little flooded. There's a Medic. We're going to sack the Wellspring. No Dispel is nice. Double Refurb is nice too. And a Fountain. They're at 4 cards. All right, let's take a couple of them and then play a Spell Bomb. Thraben Charm, Journey. I'm a little pinched on black mana here. Actually, I'm gonna map onto one of these guys. Cryogen Relic. Yeah, I guess I'll leave that on top. I can keep the Medic tapped down. It's something I can play with not black mana, and then also something I can sacrifice gladly to bargain. Cycle a Lorien. Alright, so Island and 1 unknown in hand. Another Lorien, sure. Those guys come in handy. Let's play the Cryogen Relic. Toxin Analysis. Alright, play a Blood Fountain, and Just pass. They're going to pump the medic. I could Toxin a refurb, but that's not super mana efficient. I think this turn I just want to bargain, and I don't want to block and bargain one of these guys right now. I'd rather use the Relic, maybe the Blood Token, because I actually might want to stun this. There's a cat. Yeah, let's just sack the Blood Token. Pyroblast and Red Blast. There's a Mirror Enforcer, so I guess just Death Touch these guys down, buy back our guys with the Blood Fountain. I could also use one of these on a Vector Glider if I wanted to swing for 3. We might end up doing that, but I think we'll just pass for now. Not a great time to be trading damage, I don't think. Gonna pump the cat. I set a stop in their end of combat so that I can kill the cat here with Death Touch. I guess I don't even need to do Death Touch. I could just block with both of these. And then if it might draw like a Thraben Charm or something, in which case I could still just Toxin it down. But okay, they'll just trade with one of them, that's fine. And then I can Spellbomb away the cat before they can get it back. Also, they killed the refurb, which is great because that guy comes back with a extra card, or at least an extra discard. Okay, here's the Dust to Dust, I assume, which is less good. Funnily enough, though, they do it once they've given us something in the graveyard. I kind of want to Galvanic Blast my own refurb and then buy them both back. Then I can make them discard 2 of their cards. Is that crazy? It might be crazy. This Galvanic does look pretty good, but the Toxins with the refurbs are pretty good too. But yeah, doing it this way just lets me, at the very least, crack this for 1 refurb. I think I will, though. Let's kill this, buy them both back. I think that was not just clever, but good. Like, oftentimes you'll have a cheeky little play like that, and you'll be like, oh, look how smart I am. I think it was actually pretty decent, though. Like, taking 2 of their cards away here feels pretty good. I have way too many Pyroblast effects, so they discard a Lorien in this position is crazy. If they pump this, it's going to be 5/7, so I'm probably not blocking that. And I don't have Death Touch this turn, because I am a little flooded with the non-black lands, but we're just going to pass. I'm probably going to blow up this Vector Glider, but if their last cards are like Lorien Revealed, Dispel, I'd like to have 2 Red Blasts for those. Oh, it's another Dust to Dust. Well, that is annoying. I still got some decent value off of them, but certainly a bit of a pain there. Well, let's crack this Cryogen to keep the Outlaw Medic tapped and blow up this Vector Glider. Spell Bomb. Nothing relevant at the moment, but could be good. Play a Wellspring, play another Wellspring, Mirror Enforcer for free, and I guess I'm going to leave up Pyroblast rather than the drawing the card off the Spellbomb, because Pyro looks like it might be more relevant here. Alright, they just pass the turn, perfect. Bridge. I guess I'm going to, if I leave them both back, they just won't attack, and I'd rather they attack and trade this Toxin in, I think. But then if they have like a Drown in Sorrow, it's kind of bad. Not Drown in Sorrow, what am I talking about? A Journey to Nowhere. Well, we'll just pass. If they have a Journey, then they can do that and then pump it, and then, you know, they're in a good spot and they can attack anyway. If they have another Dust to Dust, then I'm going to be pretty annoyed by their draws. I don't have anything to stop that, but I guess I'll cast a Toxin in case I crack this and find a Reckoner's Bargain, which could both gain me 7 life and keep one of these around for... I knew 4 Pyroblasts was too much. I even took out the last one. I just drew all of them here. Sure, they're gone. Pump this guy, why not? We'll take 5, and I'm going to cycle this one too, I guess. I thought we were fine because they didn't have any in the first few draws, and of course there's the bargain we needed. And there's another one. Draw 3. Alright, there's an Enforcer, there's a Blood Fountain, even though everything's been exiled. It doesn't matter too much. Of course, now I got rid of both of my Toxins. I'm going to discard one of these Pyros. They feel less important than even the lands, I think. Pump this guy, block. Go for a bargain, have a counter spell, a counter back. Last card's a Squadron Hawk. Another Mirror Enforcer. Let's Thoughtcast Wellspring. Galvanic Blast. I guess Galvanic goes at the Squadron Hawk if they pump that up, probably. If they don't, then it'll go at the Outlaw Medic. Blast the Hawk. They have a counter spell. I have a Pyroblast. Let's get some use out of these. Another Hawk. Oh, brother. Well, we know they currently just have Hawks in hand, so I think I cracked this, even though it's not doing anything relevant in their grave. We finally see a Black Mage's Rod, just so late. Don't think it's going to matter at this point. Swing with the Enforcer, pump the Hawk, swing with both. Yeah, I'll chump. If I take it, then next turn they draw another gate, or even just play a Squadron Hawk, actually. It would be lethal. If they play both Hawks, it's still lethal. So I have to draw something here anyway. I have just a Mirror Enforcer to get back, which doesn't really affect the board, so I'll just leave it in case we find something to survive. And nope. Well, triple Dust to Dust will do that to you. Pretty unfortunate. Oh, that was only game 2. Jeez. Okay, in that case, I'm getting rid of one of these Pyroblasts, because that seemed to be way too many. Maybe a Kark is fine. Nothing to fight the Dust to Dust, so definitely seems like a tough matchup for us. Maybe the blowgun just for the reach is decent too. I mean, we just got screwed by having those pyros in hand for so long, and obviously the triple dust. All right, we'll keep this one. Start with the bridge, and a blowgun. If I get an untapped artifact land, then I could play an enforcer as well as both refurbs. We did not, but that's okay. Play this. And I could just spellbomb that away. I don't think that's really enough value at the moment, seeing as we'd also be losing the card from the spellbomb. There's a relic of theirs. Buy back the cat. Play a Citadel Gate. Thought cast. Yeah, we're going to cast that. Play some spellbombs and a Mirror Enforcer. If they land a Basilisk Gate and pump, they can get the cat past the Mirror Enforcer, but they have to spend most of their mana to do that. Meanwhile, we can be attacking for 8 without spending any mana, and then I can also land a munitions next turn to pick off the cat. They brainstorm and they do find the Basilisk Gate. Play a hawk to shuffle the brainstorm away, and another cat. We just need to hit lands, and this makeshift munitions is going to be very, very good. This is the same question I had last turn, which is that I can play the Thoughtcast, and if I hit an untapped land, then I can play munitions, hold up a sack to kill whatever they try to pump, or I could just play the munitions, which is a lot safer, but just not as much value. I think we're going to go for the Thoughtcast again. Well, we got a land. It was just tapped, so we can hold up a Fanatical Offering to sack a refurb if we chump. Attack for 6 here. Oh, they block both? Interesting. Okay. I guess they want to get it into the graveyard for the relic. I don't want to play the munitions until I can actually use it, because they could have like a Thraben Charm to blow it up. They do get to relic away this refurb unless I crack a Spellbomb or a Fanatical here. I think that's fine. Cycle Alorian, play an island. They're going to pump the cat. If I block here, then since we lost the other refurb, we're actually going to have not the most damage ever. Whereas if I don't, I can just swing for 6. They do gain lifelink here, but we have a lot more damage. We can pick off all these 1-drops. 1-drops, the 1 power guys, I mean. 1 power and toughness. Play munitions. They could have a blue blast, I suppose, but I can still now use it. Also, I have a pyroblast if I really need. Now we'll pass. Modern Age. I'm going to counter that. They tap the Basilisk Gate, so unless they have another one, they're not going to be pumping this anyway. And also I still have 1 mana to use. Okay, they have another Modern Age. Sure. Discard an island. Relic. Swing with the cat. I'll take 1. Play a hawk. I'm going to pick off the hawk with the blowgun here. Swing for 6. Fanatical Offering, the Great Furnace we just got. Because now I can refurb them. Discard a hawk. And then I can kill the cat and spellbomb it away. If they try to pump with the Basilisk Gate, then I can do that in their main phase, because this will still be on the stack, so I think we'll be fine. All the hawks are down. Outlaw Medic. Pick off the cat. Spellbomb away. And if we just find a Galvanic Blast, we're pretty much just golden. I mean, I can attack for 4, put them to 7, because they block here. Can't really get around it. We'll just let them block. That's fine. They don't block? Well, that seems foolish, because now I can just throw everything at them. And if they try to Prismatic Strands, I can just respond by throwing something else. All right. We end up taking the match. That game 2 was rough. I thought it was our game 3, to be honest, but we got a pretty fast start here, and then the munitions is just golden in this matchup. All right, we're on the draw against Gilberto, who usually plays Red Rally. Sometimes Esper Affinity, but looks like Rally today. Luckily, we have the Krark Clan Shaman, so I think we'll be in an okay spot for this matchup. They just bolt us, and there's the Rally. So I could just run out of Krark, which seems like the safest play. Krark and a Blood Fountain. Then they can't really play any more creatures. Could just play a Wellspring. They can hit for a bunch, but then I get to clean it up with the Krark. This also gets us our best shot at hitting a new land. I think I'm going to go for this. I mean, their best play was just a Rally, which means they didn't have any Burning Tree Emissaries. They might have a Bushwhacker. There it is. So we're going to go to 9, but I get to refurb and Krark. I could just crack the Krark now, and if we hit a land, it's pretty good. But if we don't hit a land, then they could have a haste creature. They could have like another Rally. I think it's worth it. I'm gonna go for it. Well, another Krark is not the worst either, I guess. Although if they just go for burn now, it's gonna be tough. There's a Ren's Resolve, Mountain, Galvanic. They kill the refurb. We get our vault though. That's nice. So now I can refurb and hold up Bargain, maybe? Get rid of a Reckless Impulse. Could also just play a Krark and a Blood Fountain. Safest play against more creatures. 2 cards in hand. I think the chance we get burned out is hopefully low, so I'm going to go for this play. And then next turn, I'll probably just sack the refurb. This also gives us a turn to find a, what's it called? I'm just going to take a damage here. I don't really want to trade this 1-for-1, especially when they could have more guys come in later. Oh, Mirror Enforcer. If we found that, we could gain even more life. obviously. Spellbomb is irrelevant. Let's attack for 3. And I'm going to bargain away this to try to get a little bit of a life buffer. There's our blue mana. Hold up Galvanic. I guess with a Krark Clan Shaman, I don't really need to hold up Galvanic Blast. If they play a couple creatures, then I'll still use the Shaman. If they don't and just attack for 1, I'll just take it. That's fine. Thoughtcast, munitions. I feel like getting munitions down could be handy for the future. And we'll pass. If we take a damage here, we could die to some bolts for sure. I could just shoot it with the makeshift. Kind of want to at this point. They'd have 5 cards. No, we'll just take it again. I guess if they have bolt, fire blast, we will die. There's an Epicure. I'm gonna pass. So I think here I might sack this shaman to the spellbomb because now I have makeshift munitions for more guys. I'd like to draw cards. Yeah, because if I hit a land here, an untapped land, I can Blood Fountain for double refurb. Nice. And then take 2 of their cards away. They do get the percussionist into another percussionist. That's totally fine. Discard a Bushwhacker and bolt, so I assume, yeah, double bolt here. Yeah, we get to draw a card, but we are dead to a bolt. There's an Enforcer. Blood token away a Tomb Raider, Clockwork Percussionist. We are not going to block that. Or are we? I guess we die to a Galvanic Blast, even without Metalcraft, if we don't block. Let's see, what are the chances they have a Galvanic Blast in hand? We've seen 1 so far. We've already seen 3 Lightning Bolts, though. So actually the chances we die to a Lightning Bolt are low-ish. Alright, we'll block. I mean, there could be a Chain Lightning, they could get a Fire Blast. Rally at the Hornburg, that's totally fine. Ginger Brute, okay. So I think we can win, because we have 8 damage, 12 with the Galvanic. Pick this off. Yeah, Galvanic Blast them. Pick this off with this, attack for 8, and then throw 4 things. All right. That was a close one. Obviously, we get all of our Blue Blasts, our Unexpected Fangs, and our Krark Clan Shaman. Exchange for a bunch of Spell Bombs, Blowgun, Black Mage's Rods. And even the munitions is not really good. It's so slow. I guess the Unexpected Fangs is good with the Black Mage's Rod, but they can just kill that guy. I think the Fangs is more of a Mirror Enforcer or Krark Clan Shaman card, so we'll try this. Well, bit of an awkward hand, but we're going to keep it. Play a bridge, hope for no Cast of the Fire, Burning Tree, into Rally. Oh my gosh. I feel like when I play against them, they always have the nuts. So pretty much all I can do is Blood Fountain refurb here. I go to 1 card, and I have Bargain and Unexpected Fangs. If I can get a Seed of the Synod for the Hydroblast, Galvanic, so we take another 7 down to 5. There's the Krark, okay. That's perfect. Take away their last card, and then Krark can wipe the board. Stack the Blood Fountain and the token. Keeping this around because the Blood Fountain wasn't going to do anything anyway. This also can either hold this or use the bargain. They suplex my land. Well, that is just rude. I'm not going to just leave this back in case they get a haste guy. I kind of need it for one of these. Hopefully we draw an untapped land. There we go. And I think I'm gonna Unexpected Fangs and hope they don't have a kill spell. Oh look, they did. I guess I could have saved that, but I just feel like I'm so far from a Mirror Enforcer, like, I don't know, obviously I could have gained 4 off of that guy. I guess now I have to do this though, so that's pretty bad. And we don't even hit the land. I feel like I draw so many cards and I don't hit the lands I need. Alright, now we're just dead unless we get Great Furnace off the top. Okay. So I can sack this, or I could map onto this and then sack the land. Okay, we'll pass. They're going to attack with these 2, because that's lethal. Which means if I do this, they can gain 3 off the Ginger Brute. I mean, it doesn't really matter if they wanted to do that. But Ren's Resolve, Baldarn Epicure just straight up kills us. Okay, unless I get Seed of the Synod here. No. Okay. Well, that was unfortunate. I felt like we had a good run, and then they blew up our land and could not find another one. Well, this is too many lands, but we do have a Thoughtcast, which makes everything better, right? Why not? Clockwork. There's a refurb, so cast that. Discard an Epicure. Rally. Gonna take this hit. Play a bridge. Thoughtcast. Wellspring. We're gonna pass. Lightning Bolt. Swing for 5. Let's cast Wellspring, Refurb. Well, we drew some pretty decent cards in 2 refurbs, but we did just draw a bunch more lands, which is pretty unfortunate. There's a Rally, block, Toxin. We hit a Krark, we could still be in this. That's a Wellspring. That's a Reckoner's Bargain. Let's draw 3. Yep, Bushwhacker, and we're dead. Oh, it's a Reckless Impulse. Ginger Brute and a Lightning Bolt. Have the land for a Tomb Raider from hand. Perfect. Swing for 7. Reckoner's Bargain, the Wellspring. There's the Krark. And we have the Unexpected Fangs. Okay. But I can't also hold up the Blue Blast. What do they get here? A Bolt? Okay, but I can Krark, Unexpected Fangs, sack something to wipe all of these, gain 7. Then they bolt it, and I can just accept that. Or I could just play down a Kark, wipe the whole board, hold up a Blue Blast, but then we're still at 5. But then we have another Kark with a Fangs for the next turn, maybe? I feel like I'd rather just get the Burst of Life. So we're going to do this. And a Clockwork Percussionist hits a Burning Tree. Sure. I could deal 1 more damage to just gain 2 life. Kill this. Because they're going to bolt this. And then I'm going to have to sack 2. No, we'll just take it and then I can Kark these away later. Yeah, that's fine. Yep, it's dead. There's a Burning Tree Emissary. Ginger Brute. Swing for 3. They got 1 card. So I get to refurb that away. Which is a Bushwhacker. Play a Kark. And then I get to sack 2 to wipe these. With a Blue Blast backup. Alright, we end up getting there. Definitely looking pretty rough for a bit, but the Unexpected Fangs came in clutch. Alright, we're on the play, and not gonna keep a 1-lander for the 3rd match in a row. This one's fine, though. Big toss-up between keeping Kark and keeping Spellbomb. And Spellbomb is just more generically useful because it can just be cycled, but of course Kark is insane in certain matchups. We also don't have any other removal. I'll keep the Kark and hope for the best. Like if it's elves or something, that'd be a good one to have Kark for. Vault of Whispers. Could be a mirror. Ooh, that's a good draw, just so we get to play Wellspring. Could be a mirror, could be Esper, could be Jund, could be Mono Black, could be Dimir, could be Orzhov, Cycle Storm. I guess we chose wrong. No Spellbomb is potentially just going to lose us the game. That would suck. They're stuck on 1 land, which is kind of nice. Hopefully I can find another Spellbomb. Should I just Thoughtcast? Kind of want to play a Black Mage's Rod, but does the damage even matter? I mean, if they're stuck on 1 land, it could. And I'm going to hope, since they're stuck on 1 land, that if I Thoughtcast here into a Spellbomb, like, if I Thoughtcast next turn, it'll be just as effective, ideally. Obviously, they could just have, all the Dark Rituals and stuff. So maybe we'll just die. I hate it when I choose wrong. Oh, well, that was all they had. I mean, we're still not in a great spot. By that, I mean, I really desperately need a Spellbomb. So I guess I just Thoughtcast and Reckoner's Bargain to dig for it. I kind of wanted to play the Black Mage's Rod and then Thoughtcast, but like if they just do their thing, we're going to just lose. So let's just dig as much as we can. This is a bunch of cards down to try to find it. And we don't. We find some Thoughtcasts. I guess I'll just play a Kark. Probably not going to be relevant except for maybe as an attacker, but I guess technically I could sacrifice to kill off a Drannith Stinger in response to like a second one coming down. I know they're still on 1 land, but at this point they have 6 creatures in their graveyard, so if they just have Songs of the Damned, they could definitely get enough mana to go off. Dark Ritual last turn was just to put more creatures in their graveyard. There's the songs. Balrit, and another, Drannith Healer, Rowan's Grim Search, losing the last land. Their only land. Man, imagine if we had a Spellbomb right about now. I mean, we wouldn't crack it here, but, it'd be pretty good. They've been a couple cards, keep a couple. Another Songs, and a Reaping. Cycle a bunch in response. I'm really not sure why they did this and then the Reaping after. Obviously, they, in response to it going off. Obviously, they got the Storm Count, and now they're trying to add more creatures to the grave. Well, they had another song, so it's going to work. But yeah, they were running out of mana. Obviously, if they have another songs, though, they could have just done that one later. I don't know. What does it matter? They finally end the Reaping. Songs still in the stack. Get some 15 mana. Cast another Songs. They cast some Drannith Stingers, and I guess I'll react with this Kark-Clan Shaman. But I assume this will just die. This will hit the field, and they might even just play a second or third, and we will promptly die to cycling. Fascinating gameplay. Yeah, I mean, that was just a coin flip. We put away this Spellbomb. If we kept the Spellbomb, we probably could have won there. Gorilla Shaman can blow up their lands. Most of their lands are artifacts, except for Barren Moors. Otherwise, I mean, gaining life doesn't really help against them. Breath Weapon, same issue as Kark-Clan Shaman, which is that it sucks. So we'll make that swap, I guess. I guess Blowgun's probably even worse, actually. We have the Gorilla Shaman. I'm not really confident in its ability to win the game on its own. Alright, now we have a reasonable hand and a Gorilla Shaman. This one I'll keep. I think we'll put back the Reckoner's Bargain. I want the card draw. Actually, I guess a Familiar. The pressure doesn't really matter. Making him discard a card's pretty irrelevant. I guess I'd rather just more card draw. There's a Vault, so we will just blow that up, because who knows if they'll even have any more lands. They cycle in response, and then a Barren Moor. Alright, pretty nice from them. Seat, play the Cryogen. Galvanic Blast. Swing for one. Well, they drew a couple Baron Moors, kind of annoying. Don't think Galvanic Blast really goes anywhere but face here. Let's just do that. Thought cast and bargain the relic. Try to hit a spell bomb. We do. Of course, they might play Siege Smash, as they sometimes do, but I think it's still just better to put down now. I guess if they cast like a Lotus Petal, maybe I need to respond to that with a spell bomb just so that they can't Siege Smash it. I don't really know if that's tech they're still using, but it was used for a little while. Although obviously if they cast a Lotus Petal here and I sacked in response, I'm only getting 2 creatures out of it. That's not really worth it anyway. Cycle a healer. Great Furnace. Okay, well, maybe they just have the red man. Dark Writ. I could have responded to that. Could be the right choice. Pretty tough to know. 3 cards could be relevant, 3 creatures, but it also could be kind of insignificant in the grand scheme of things. Yep, there's the Siege Smash. It's got split second, which means I can't activate this in response. So they got me. Probably should have used it in response to the Dark Ritual. I admit. Cabal Ritual and Reaping the Graves. Okay, I mean, this gets back their cyclers, but just a mini reaping. I guess not the end of the world. I do get to make them discard a card, blow up their land, discard a Baron Moor. Well, I know 4 of their cards are just cyclers. Street Wraith was not one of them, so that's a new card entering the mix. There's a Vantasaur, another Street Wraith, Carabid. So if they pass, they're dead to a Galvanic Blast, if we can find that. Oh, well, they just concede, so we would have drawn off of this into the Black Mage's Rod. That wouldn't have actually done it this turn, but we got there. Well, we know about the Siege Smash now. We already anticipated it, and then I still didn't fully play around it, so let's try to do that this time. Ugh. I mean, the one of Gorilla Shaman showing up, and it did work for sure, so I don't hate that. But Krark is not very good. Thought casts I can't actually cast. We gotta mulligan this. 1 lander with a spell bomb on the draw. No, I think we can do better. I mean, this is better. It's still a 1 lander with a spell bomb, but we'll keep it. Get rid of Blood Fountain. Get rid of... I can cast the Blood Fountain, but what does it matter? It doesn't do anything, really, in this match, except for at affinity count. And I'm hoping to hit a second land at some point. I guess I don't even want to play... I guess maybe keeping 1 because I could have used the Blood Token to discard a card because I don't actually want to play the Spell Bomb right away, knowing that they have the Siege Smash available. There's a Great Furnace. Although if I miss my land drop, I guess they'll just blow this up. Yeah, that's going to be pretty bad. So I guess I got to play this just so that they don't go after our land if they have it. Cycle Horror and Vantasaur. I'm going to get greedy. I'm not going to correct the Spell Bomb right away. Another Great Furnace. And they pass. Feels like they don't have it, probably. There's a seat. I don't need to draw the card off of this. I'd rather just have, like... I could get pressure going, but what does that matter? I mean, it matters a little bit. I feel like I got to draw cards first. Let's play a Relic. Alright, there's a land. If they cycle, like, 3 cards on their end step here, I will crack the Spell Bomb. And they did. So we're going to go for it. 5 is a good amount to prevent them, even just a turn or 2 from comboing. I don't draw a card. It could be more later, but obviously the Siege Smash could be brutal. And yeah, I also just opened it up to getting Songs of the Damned and Reaping the Grave in response. So we'll just play it a little safe there. Dark Ritual. They gonna hard cast something? Carabid? Rowan Scream Search. Okay, never mind. No hard casting over here. Lame. Oh, and they just passed the turn. Okay, so I could draw 3 with the bargain, and then we might hit another Spell Bomb. That's pretty much the main plan anyway. All these red cards are pretty irrelevant, and we didn't draw anything more relevant. Lotus Petal, they pass. That's a good draw. Great Furnace, Black Mage's Rod. I think we just play Mirror Enforcer. I mean, I'm not going to be able to draw into the Spellbomb this turn anyway. I mean, I could have just like played a Wellspring or sacked a land to try to find it, but it seems unlikely. If they can't do it this turn, which hopefully they won't be able to, then we can at least apply pressure. They're not doing much right now, so that's a good sign at least. Maybe they have all mana in hand and just not enough cyclers, because they didn't cycle anything at the end step, which seems probably indicative they don't have any, which means this could present like a 2-turn clock with some spells and makeshift and stuff. They just cast another Lotus Petal so they don't have to discard. Alright, play a Wellspring, another Black Mage's Rod. I cast that, they go to 14, hit them down to 8. I mean, they're definitely dead next turn. If I just Fanatical Offering, I can still just hit them to 8. And then I have to just cast 2 spells. So they're dead next turn no matter what. So I might as well draw, because I could hit an untapped land and a spell bomb. 3 lands. I mean, honestly, a land drop isn't terrible either, assuming we don't just die. But things are looking decent. And they just pass. Well, to their turn. They didn't do anything on our end step. Another Lotus Petal. They gotta go for something now. Dark Writ. Cycle a Drannith Stinger. It's possible they were just biding their time because they could, but again, if they had cyclers, I just wasn't sure why they wouldn't have cycled them previously. I guess waiting for, trying to wait out a spell bomb is possible. Songs of the Damned for 4. Reaping the Graves also for 4, with only 3 targets. Perfect. Recycle the Street Wraith. Found a Horror. Another Street Wraith. Wish I had Galvanic Blast up. Cycle the Stinger. Lotus Petal for another Songs for 6. Rowan's Grim Search. Couple Dark Rituals. Cycle. Reaping goes off. Cycle their Drannith Stinger. And a Healer. Vantasaur. Songs of the Damned for 12. Another Reaping. They let all that resolve. They get a Drannith Healer on the field. At 2 life here. Starting to go up, though. Cycle Street Wraiths. Play a Drannith Stinger. If they have just like one more Songs of the Damned, they could probably kill us. Because they need the mana. I guess they also need probably another Reaping. We've seen 1, 2 Reapings. 1, 2, 3 Songs of the Damned. There's a Songs, only for 12 though, I guess. Cycle Horror, so yeah, they have to find another Reaping the Graves. Or I guess just another Drannith Stinger and 10 cycles. That would work as well. Cabal Ritual. They find a Reaping. They find a Reaping, cast a Drannith Stinger, and then they're going to cycle to kill us. Beautiful. Alright, not going to keep a 1-lander for the 4th match in a row. This one looks alright though. Kind of the same question again. Whether we get rid of Spellbomb or Krark. And I guess we'll get rid of Krark this time. We at least have a couple blockers with the refurbs if they are like a rally. So we have a little bit of crowd control to some degree. They mulligan to 5, so it's possible they are some sort of combo or just unlucky. I partially like the Spellbomb because it allows me to play Spellbomb and Refurb on turn 2. And if it's just Elves, which it kind of looks like it is, then I'm going to regret not having a Krark. Pretty unfortunate to play that lottery twice and lose both times. If it's like Spy, then it's nice to have the Spellbomb. But Finhorn Elves, not played in too many of the Spy decks. Discard a Forest. There's a Quirion Ranger, do a little untap, and play a Timberwatch Elf. Galvanic Blast would be nice, or just another Krark. No, I suppose not. I'll play a Refurb. I either get their Forest or their other card. Either one's decent. Blowgun, Bridge, swing for 2. I guess in the future, maybe I just need to keep both of the cards that can hedge against certain strategies, but it felt like putting away a Wellspring or a Familiar did not seem particularly good here. Just playing a 3-4 Hydra, swing at the Ranger. I could block to prevent potentially 4 damage, but I think I'll just let it go. Krark's still really good. Thoughtcast. This doesn't give Death Touch on their turn, so there's not really a reason to equip it, so let's just keep drawing cards. We'll pass. They play another Quirion Ranger. Swing at the Hydra, so they could pump it +8, hit for 11. Yeah, I don't think blocking really does us any good. We absorb barely any damage and just lose our guys, who could have, Death Touch if we get a Toxin or something like that. They untap and pump again, hit for 11. They said they messed up. They hadn't played their Forest, so they could have hit for another 4. It still wouldn't have been lethal. Actually, yeah, if they had attacked with all 3 of these as well. This can't attack, and also I could have blocked, so no, it wouldn't have been lethal either way. Well, if we can find Krark off this Thoughtcast, then we can still Death Touch everything down with the Blowgun, and we can probably win from there. That's not it, though. Let's play a Wellspring. I guess if I still just draw the Krark, I can use it, even if I can't give it Death Touch. Nope. Alright. Well, we get an Enforcer. We get to take their card, which is a land, but they can pump this, untap, pump it again, replay the land, pump it again for +12, and we're gonna die. If I just had the Krark that I bottomed, I would have been fine. Here's a Krark, here's a Breath Weapon. I don't think Fangs is really needed. Spellbomb does have some utility because they play Masked Vandals more than likely, and so we can get rid of the card from their graveyard so they don't blow up like our land or something. Blood Fountains feel like they're pretty irrelevant. They can turbo out an Enforcer. It's fodder for Krark Clan Shamans. That's all good. I guess they're probably better than like Black Mage's Rod. Black Mage's Rod does less. Like the Blood Fountains, I feel like by the time we're chumping or like trading creatures off, we're probably already behind or ahead. Like we're not probably going to be buying back a lot of creatures is my point with the Blood Fountains. But the Black Mage's Rods, like we're not going to be pinging them down for lethal either. On the play, we got a Breath Weapon. That seems decent enough. Start with the Bridge and pass. Play the Blowgun. If they just play a Timberwatch Elf here, I probably have to just Breath Weapon the 2 of them. which is still a 2-for-1. It's not terrible, but otherwise they get to next turn have a way to keep a creature alive, which seems bad. We're just going to play a 2/3 Nyxborn Hydra. Okay, that is something. Well, that survives a breath weapon, so I guess I'll just pass here. The last time this happened to me, they had a hand full of Hydras and they just kept casting them, so could be problematic if they do that since we don't have Mirror Enforcers or anything to block them. I don't really want to bargain away this blowgun because the Death Touch with the Krark, but I guess I have a Toxin Analysis in hand, so they're going to swing even with the Elves. Lead the Stampede, sure. Double Timberwatch. Yeah. My alternative is using Toxin and then cycling it, but I'm only drawing one card there. I think I'd rather just bargain this. Spellbomb. Well, I can play the Enforcer. Sure, let's do that. Play Spellbomb and then Mirror Enforcer. That blocks. Hopefully then they have to just build up their forces a little bit and the Breath Weapon can clear away a couple of guys. Cycle a Generosent. They're so wary of a Krark Clan Shaman that they're just going to put a Hydra on a Hydra for a 4/5. Alright, they get in this turn. Next turn I can Toxin this if nothing else. There's a bargain. We'll pass. I guess if I block and Toxin, then I don't have a Toxin for a Krark, but we do have enough artifacts to hopefully get there either way. Are they about to play another Hydra on this guy? That'd be crazy. No, they're just going to start by attacking. Well, I'm going to go for it. Toxin Analysis. So I gain 4. They keep the Hydra that was bestowed. An Avenging Hunter. Gotcha. Well, that is annoying, isn't it? Play their forest. I guess that was their goal, just to get us to lose our guy for their hunter. I'm gonna crack the Spellbomb now. Alright, another Enforcer. Blood Fountain. Thoughtcast. Another Thoughtcast. Still looking for a Krark. If I find Krark, I could wipe the board and then, well, I could cast a Mirror Enforcer, sack enough to wipe the board, and then just have an Enforcer left, and we have a Breath Weapon for their other guys. So yeah, I think we're thought casting and hoping we hit one. Makeshift Munitions and a Refurb. I mean, those are not bad. I guess we can makeshift down the Hydra so that it can't block, and then we can fly over with the Refurb. Pass the turn. Then again, they could grow the Hydra here so it stays out of range of a Galvanic Blast. If they do that and we find the Galvanic Blast, then we can still use Blast plus Makeshift Munitions, so it's not a big deal. In fact, I'd prefer that because then the Hunter's easier to kill. But they go for the Hunter after all. I guess if they attack here with the Hunter, which I don't know why they wouldn't, I could go for the double block. Oh, they just have another Hydra for the Hunter? Sure. I guess I cannot go for the double block profit. So I'll take 11. I don't have any cast downs for this guy, so I'm probably just going to lose to him, unfortunately. I guess I need to find 2 more Mirror Enforcers. One's in my graveyard, so I could Blood Fountain, buy it back, and Thoughtcast. I'm also getting trapped down to 2. Yeah, I guess I gotta start with a Thoughtcast. Nothing useful. Krark and Death Touch still does it, but we've already gone through 2 of our Death Touchers. So I have to find 1 of 4 Krarks. Gonna bargain the Wellspring. There's a Krark and a Mirror Enforcer. Super late. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, I could kill the Avenging Hunter. Now it feels like I just need to block it, but then we trample over. I'm gonna die to the trap. I could play a Krark, wipe for 3, take the initiative, play an Enforcer. We're at 9. I guess we're not dead to trap plus this guy. Okay, wait. So Krark for 3. Attack. No, because then Mirror Enforcer doesn't kill this. Unless I also play a Breath Weapon. But then they still have a Hydra around. I mean, I know I'm going to play this. I have to play that, and I'm just trying to figure out what else I'm doing. Yeah, so if I sack 3 lands, get in for 2, I could leave a Breath Weapon with the Mirror Enforcers. Block. They trample for 3. And then we get trapped, so we go to 1. Then we have to Breath Weapon, wipe our entire board to kill this. And the Hydra sticks around. I can buy back this, but I've already lost a bunch of lands. I don't really think there's any way I can do this, but I guess I'll pitch something here. See if we get the Toxin Analysis. No, Spellbomb. Yeah, if we hit the second Toxin, I think we could do it. I mean, we could certainly survive, right? Because we could just wipe the board, and then I could also take the initiative. Yeah, no, we'd be in an incredible spot if I got the second Toxin. Now they're going to trap us to 4. I can block this. Trample for 2. Block here. They trample for 2. And then anything I sack to the Krark is going to make us take more, so I believe I'm dead. We're down to 4. Masked Vandal. Wipe away Mirror Enforcer. We'll crack a Spellbomb to prevent that. If they have like a Cycler afterwards, then they can still use the Vandal, in which case we're going to lose because we need this Enforcer to be around. But they don't. Then again, I guess I could sack 10 artifacts in response. Wipe everything but this Hydra's going to stick around, but I only have 1 land left. So that's probably not going to work very well. Block this. I go to 2. If they had attacked with these, I believe I died. But since they didn't, I go to 2, and I have a Krark to wipe everything away, and then a Blood Fountain to buy some stuff back. So I actually might be okay here. Lead the Stampede, sure. A bunch of actual elves instead of this crap, so I can wipe most of those away with a Breath Weapon later. Alright, so I have to sack 5 artifacts, which means I'm only going to have 4. No, because I'm going to sack the Blood Fountain too. So I'm only going to have 3, which means the Mirror Enforcers are not coming back super effectively. Although the Refurb doesn't even, it's not going to get past the Inspector, so I'd probably just go for the Mirror Enforcers and hope for the best. 5 artifacts, so we're keeping our bridges. They're also going to the Throne of the Dead 3 next turn. Oh my god, this is so difficult. I guess for that reason I probably do need a Refurb, but then the Vitu-Ghazi just blocks it. I don't have to sack everything here, actually. I could just get back to Enforcers, and then they attack, they block, and then I sack. Yeah, okay. I guess we're doing this. I don't know. It seems like quite the predicament. Play these 2, play makeshift munitions, and pass the turn. They have another Masked Vandal. I think I'm going to end up makeshifting 2 of these and using Krark for 3, which wipes everything on their side. So I'm just going to throw this now. They're going to attack. So we're going to sack 1, 2, 3 munitions down the Hydra with the Krark. It's going to wipe their board. They do get to just play some more of these. Honestly, the Vitu-Ghazi Inspector is going to be the most annoying one because it survives the Breath Weapon. But I guess Breath Weapon plus munitions for 2 is going to kill it. 4 mana? What else do they have for 4? Another Hydra or something? Timberwatch plus Quarian Ranger. Okay. Oh, and untap. Play Fyndhorn Elves with the last mana. Elvish Mystic. Same difference. Alright, so we get to Breath Weapon these away. Take the initiative before they go to the Throne of the Dead 3. We get to take that. We do actually have a basic to pick up, although I'm going to be playing another tap land here. We might still be able to make it out of here. Timberwatch. I could pick that off with a couple munitions. Obviously, we have finite resources. I don't really love throwing on my lands here, but I certainly will. And if they're going to try to Vitu-Ghazi to grow the elf, the Timberwatch elf, we're certainly going to do it in response to that, because this thing's got to die. There's the Inspector. Yeah, we will definitely throw a couple lands of that in response. And they have a Quarian Ranger. We know they have a Fyndhorn in hand, so they can play that if they want. And that's all they got. Okay, we're going to scry here. I don't think I need to forge, and a scry could do us good. Galvanic Blast and Reckoner's Bargain. Those are both great draws. We will keep them both. I bargain, Galvanic Blast, block, 1 mana for this, so I should be able to play a bridge and pass here. If they get like another Masked Vandal off the top, or heaven forbid a draw spell into a Masked Vandal, then we could be in some trouble, because they kill the Enforcer, they take the initiative, and then it's pretty much just over. Priest of Titania, that's totally fine. They are going to swing with everything. Yeah, I'm losing lands for sure, but I think that's fine. Block here, shoot this, eat this guy. And now I almost want to Reckoner's Bargain the Mirror Enforcer. No, that's crazy, because I can actually just hit them for a bunch. I have a Galvanic Blast on top. I'm about to get a treasure, so let's sack the treasure and not one of our lands here to the bargain. I'm hoping I don't need the life. Oh, but now we just have double Galvanic on them next turn. This taps for 1, so I think I can just let that go. Alright, lead the Stampede. Timberwatch, Mystic, Generosent. None of those matter all that much, because I can blast, they're at 4, and then I could just makeshift munitions them, or I can makeshift munitions down the 3 creatures they can play, and attack with the Enforcer. They're going to attack. Let's throw a bridge at it. Play a Timberwatch. Make a 4/1. Another Mirror Enforcer. So tap everything here. Galvanic Blast. Throw a land. Attack for 4. Ooh, okay, somehow we pulled out that game. And I guess we're going to game 3. Alright, we are not going to keep a 1-lander. Once again. Okay, now this is a tough one. We have the double Krark, although we'll probably get rid of 1. We don't have red mana. I think it's probably a keep. We have some pretty decent other cards, and hopefully we can find red mana. And hopefully we don't get Masked Vandaled on turn 1. Turn 2, I guess, of theirs. Priest of Titania and Elvish Mystic. That's all pretty bad, too. I could refurb away one of their 2 cards, or I could just Wellspring. If I Wellspring, then next turn I can refurb and Thoughtcast. I think that's probably what we do, but not affecting this mana at all is pretty unfortunate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they can just slam an Avenging Hunter here, Generosent, a giant Hydra. Timberwatch. Oh, well that is not that scary after all. Okay. I mean, Timberwatch is really good, but that was a lot less bad than it could have been. A Masked Vandal. Oh boy. So I want a Thoughtcast here, but the fact that they discarded a Masked Vandal makes me kind of think their other card might be a Masked Vandal, because it's clearly not a Lead the Stampede. It's not a Generous Ant, a Hydra, like anything big. I also really need to hit red for this Kark, and if I could hit it this turn, then I could wipe these away. But if they just Masked Vandal away my land, it's pretty bad. I think I need a Thoughtcast. Yep. These lists did used to run 20 lands, I believe, and this list is on 19. So it feels pretty rough. Feels like I'm kind of feeling that 19 lands this whole league. I'm kind of expecting their last card was a Masked Vandal, but I could be wrong. And now even if I get the Kark without Death Touch, the Timberwatch keeps something alive. I guess assuming I don't lose any lands, I can refurb Blood Fountain and double Enforcer here, so I at least have some decent blockers. That's not bad. But there's the Vandal. Yep, on the bridge. As anticipated. And I just have to take the attack. I can't really afford to block and lose my refurb, which means we're taking 8 damage this turn, I think. Assuming they tap the Timberwatch, which they might not if they're worried about the Kark coming out right away after. Would be pretty nice if they attacked, hit for 8, tapping the Timberwatch, and then we got the Great Furnace off the top for the Kark. I'd be okay with that. They tap for 6 and then untapped, decide to just attack. I will take it. Not sure what they have that wouldn't be worth playing. This is just so unfortunate. What do I have to do? Elves is supposed to be an easy matchup for us, generally. I guess I play this. It's all I can play other than a Blood Fountain, which doesn't do much either way. Yep, there's a Hydra. I don't understand not using the Hydra on the Mystic there. That's crazy to me. Because then it has Trample. It's really hard to kill. Plus 6. So this is 10 damage, so I have to block something. Oh, they have a Quarian Ranger, so I'm just dead. Because they could just tap it twice on whatever is unblocked. Yep. Alright, last round here. Finally got a hand without just one land. Against some more red. Bridge. Pass. Take a bolt to the face. And plot a highway robbery. So I could Blood Fountain here. I could Great Furnace, Black Mage's Rod. But I kind of want more black mana for next turn, I think. If I do Bridge, Blood Fountain, we have 4 artifacts. Next turn, 5... 6, 7, and I can deploy 2 Enforcers. Whereas if I do Black Mage's Rod this turn, then I'm not going to have enough black mana, so I'm not going to be able to. Yeah, so we're going to do Blood Fountain first, Bridge, and then pass. 2 Enforcers next turn seems pretty aggressive. They go for a robbery, discard a Fiery Temper, and plot another robbery. Refurb. Well, I'm going to hope I don't just die to like a Gutter Snipe, which could happen, but this is going to put 12 damage on them next turn. Not to mention whatever I can get off the hero token. There's the Gutter Snipe. I could have played a Kark Clan Shaman to just wipe away the Gutter Snipe as soon as they cast a robbery. That could have been better. They do discard a Lava Dart, so that's 9 that we're at virtually. Toxin is a nice draw. I'm not going to use it on the Kark. I'm going to use it on a Mirror Enforcer. Attack with the team. Toxin, just to gain 4, obviously. And then I'm going to Kark and wipe away the Gutter Snipe with this Blood token and this Clue token. I guess the Blood token. Blood token actually could have been more relevant. I don't know. They don't even Lava Dart in response. Okay. I mean, we're at 16 to be fair. Now they have 10 damage staring down. Highway Robbery. Get back a Snacker. That doesn't do too much. Play Mountain. Epicure can chump. Lava Dart can take out the Refurb. Another Refurb. Well, we'll swing. No use in equipping the Black Mage's Rod since they can chump either of these, and this one can get darted. They go to 1. Play a Wellspring and a Refurb, which can block, well, unless they Lava Dart something. Or I can give them a Fiery Temper. I guess this could help me die. I'm at 12. They have 3 cards. Dart this. I go to 10. Their 3 cards could be Bolt, Bolt, Fire Blast, and I would die. There's a Bolt. There's the Dart. Swing for 2. Faithless Looting. Discard another Dart, but they only have 1 card left in hand. That can't deal us 6, I assume. Alright, a little closer than I thought it might be, but we get all of these, and this one we don't need the Karks for. We'll keep the Toxins for the life gain, though. Munitions is way too slow. Black Mage's Rod, way too slow. Actually, wait, Hunter's Blowgun we don't need, so bring this back in. Yeah, let's do that. Spellbomb's decent early. Then we have a Refurb. Yeah, we'll keep this one. None of our 6 Blue Blasts or 3 life gain spells, but, well, I guess 7 life gain spells with the Reckoner's Bargains. Should I just start with the Spell Bomb to prevent a Snacker? Probably, but I really don't like having to play that on turn 1, and then turn 2 I have nothing except for a bridge, and then turn 3 I have like my Refurb awkwardly because I can't also Thoughtcast, or I could just Wellspring. Whereas this way, I can Spellbomb and Refurb next turn, and they Faithless Looting to start. Perfect. Oh, they don't even hit a land, and they hit a Dart and a Snacker in the yard. Perfect. Well, in that case, probably just Spellbomb those away right now. Well, I guess I don't need to, unless I get a draw 2, in which case they might discard something else relevant. Yeah, let's just wait. Or maybe they have another Faithless Looting to look even further, and then they have to put more stuff in the grave that I can exile. Nope, they're just going to pass. All right, we'll leave that on the field. Black Mage's Rod, Thoughtcast, ping them for 1, pass. They bolt the hero token. They have an Epicure, and they pass. They're tapped out, so we get to refurb them with no Fiery Temper coming. All right, and they just concede there. We end up getting a 3-2. Not a bad record with the deck, but pretty frustrating losses, I must admit. We lost to Cycle Storm. Game 1 we lost against them. We won Game 2, lost Game 3. If we just kept the Spellbomb in Game 1 where they didn't have Siege Smashes, I think we probably could have thrown them off enough to easily win that game, and then thus the match. And Elves, we actually had an incredible comeback in Game 2, only to never see red mana in Game 3 and just not be able to cast our Cart Clan Shamans. So I do feel like, based on my experience, 19 lands is too few. I mean, Luffy's the expert, I am not, so I'm going to assume 19's been working for him, but I probably would go back up to 20 because this just wasn't quite doing it for me. Otherwise, it's just the deck you know and love. It's very strong still. Maybe it's not as good as Jund, and I personally enjoy Jund a little bit more, but this is still a very powerful deck all around, despite its weaknesses to Artifact Hate. In any case, thank you to my monthly supporters. If you want to support me on a monthly basis, go ahead and check out my Metafy in the link down below. So thank you to my current $10 supporters, Howard Granger, Rafa Rodriguez, JDNPX, Tommaso Magnani, Halkaz, Cody Cowell, Illintent, and Emmanuel Mayer. I really appreciate the support, and I will see you all next time.